All right, here we go. It's time for another episode of the Ticket Studs. Today we're going to be drafting movies from 1973 to 1976, the most arbitrary, random window of time.
It really is, isn't it?
We should have just done the whole decade.
I agree.
In retrospect.
Why are you saying no?
Well, that's what you get when you let Salemi pick a topic.
Right. 73 to 76.
73 to 76.
There's a
It's not even like an even 5-year split. Like
no, but
At least it wasn't like 1939 and 1945, the films of World War II.
the 70s is too much. That's the entire decade. In it, I told you when I picked it, I stopped at 77 so that there would not be Star Wars, and I started in 73 because I couldn't remember when the first Godfather came out. So I knew it was 71 or 72.
You nailed it. It was 72.
Yeah. So
these are the
I
only
didn't want
memories
those
he
two to
has.
happen.
I just want to clip the part where you go, the 70s is the whole decade.
Right.
Yep, you're right.
You know what?
That's
He is
too
not
much.
wrong.
That's too
Put that on his tombstone.
That is a great part.
All right, drafting our order in the one spot again. Jeff Arvin, drafting second. Myself, Kashner. Third is Salemi, and on the turn at 4 is Littell.
What up?
Normal categories like usual: blockbuster, comedy, action, drama, thriller, misunderstood, wild card, and Oscar nom.
Excellent.
So, do we want to go ahead and just write Jaws down? Or?
I actually already did.
I think you've drafted it 3 times, right?
I've drafted it as many times as I am capable of drafting it, and I shall continue to do so.
Which category?
I'm going to take it in Oscar.
Okay.
Yeah, so Jaws in Oscar. I mean, I've talked about it a lot. It's one of my absolute, like, top 2, maybe 3 movies of all time. I just love Jaws. I love it so much, and it just makes me happy that I get to take a Spielberg here. And even if Littell steals everything else that I ever do, he can't
bringing
take
up some
Jaws
old
from
drama.
me. And so it's great. It's fantastic, and I'm taking Jaws here. So
All right.
I'll
Yeah.
save us some time.
I was going to say that we've already said what there is to be said about
Was
Jaws.
that the movie about the hot dog eater?
Yeah,
Carter.
Carter. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Coach Carter. The hot dog eater. It's got jaws of steel.
Okay, I'm up with the second pick. Usually I'm drafting later than this, so this feels weird.
Hey, wait, I have a question before you go. Is it, we can do, it's not just one movie per year, right?
No,
Okay.
you could pick them all from
All from the same year if I
Yeah,
wanted to?
just that
Okay.
range.
Okay.
I just figured that if I picked a singular year in the 70s, it would be way too hard for you or for Kashner. There's just no
You
way
don't think we're
guys-
smart enough?
I don't think. I think you would have had to stretch what you've seen.
No, it's true.
That's
There's
all.
I was talking to Littell before we started. There's so many movies that I'm interested in seeing, I just never have.
Yeah,
Right,
there's a
and I-
bunch.
And when we get to the misunderstood, it's going to be tough because I've seen a bunch of crappy movies that have come out in my lifetime, but you don't go back and watch crappy movies from a previous decade.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So,
Your frame of reference is not quite as big.
yeah, the ones I've seen are like some heavy hitters. So, with the number 2 pick in the blockbuster category, I'm taking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Great movie. That was in my top 3.
There's quite a few Oscar noms in this range, a ton actually, with all the random, supporting actor from a random movie. They really add up. But blockbuster for me is a little thin. Cuckoo's Nest. Jack Nicholson probably towards the height of his powers. I mean, 75. 5 Easy Pieces was 70. Easy Rider was 69. So this was kind of like his peak before, The Shining comes a few years later. It's just so amazing. So many great characters. Danny DeVito, Brad Dourif.
Love Danny DeVito in that movie.
Oh man.
It really says something about an actor when you genuinely hate their guts. And Louise Fletcher as
Oh.
Nurse Ratched.
She's an amazing villain.
There's a reason it swept all 5 of the big category of the 5 Oscars. Picture, actor, actress, screenplay, director. I mean, it's amazing. Chief, a wonderful character. His redemption.
So good.
What happens to I can't remember his name, but Brad Dourif's character. He sneaks the girl in.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
he-
yes.
Oh my God, it's just so heart wrenching. It's such a good movie.
The
She's
way
up there
Nurse
with,
Ratched
like-
makes him feel about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's up there with Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator for me. Is like
Joaquin?
hateable.
Oh.
Just hateable
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Like cruel. Yeah, I agree.
Also,
Also,
a good word for her.
She
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
have you all seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Mm-hmm. There's a really great callback episode in that show to this movie where Danny DeVito is he's like just on a bunch of drugs. He gets put into a mental asylum with
He's
a bunch of
Martini.
the same kinds of people.
That's his name, right? Martini.
Yeah, Martini.
All right, Salemi, you're in third. Let's go.
I am taking.
Oh,
It should not be a surprise to anyone, I think.
Dracula.
I'll go with Blockbuster, and I will take Godfather 2.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
that's
It's
up there
almost
with
like you
Harvard
picked
Chicken
these
Jaws.
years just to do that.
I did not. I intentionally tried.
So weird.
Hand to God, I never would have been able to tell you when Godfather 2 came out, but I assumed it was in that time frame. But that is not why.
Do you know
But-
who directed it?
Martin Scorsese.
Yep, that's it.
Spike
He nailed
Lee.
it.
Spike
Well,
Lee.
Spike Lee's
Spike
fast.
Lee, I know is not
Spike
the right
Lee.
answer. I definitely know it's not the right answer. No, this is, I think we would all agree, the only sequel that's better than the original.
I agree.
Maybe Empire Strikes Back? Is that
I'd put Empire
blasphemous?
there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd put them there for sure.
Yeah, it's just, and the way they weave the two stories back and forth, going present and future. Hey, how you doing?
I'm going to hand it off.
I don't care. The backstory, the origin story that they weaved in with the current state of
so
affairs
good.
is awesome. And then what happened to poor Fredo? I never saw that coming. I thought there would be some sort of
You're breaking my heart.
it's really well done all along. And there are a lot of different twists and turns in there.
Also, young Al Pacino just goes crazy in that movie. So good.
Yeah,
Castro would disagree, but
Robert De Niro is fantastic in the movie.
also,
Yeah.
I do not disagree with the young Pacino in The Godfather. I just has said Al Pacino is an overrated actor.
Really.
On the whole, yeah.
Well, that's all right. Hey, I feel that way about Jack Nicholson. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've always
that's my
thought he was overrated and
Yeah.
kind of creepy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very much. I think
Most
he does
of-
well in creepy parts.
There are a couple of movies, especially in this decade, where I think Pacino is amazing. But for the most of my life, it's just been him being loud.
I don't disagree.
And I'm like, it's not for me. But again,
I don't think he's had a bunch of hits over the last 20 years. Heat.
did
would
you
be
not
one.
see Ocean's 13?
hey now.
I think
Hey,
Al
now.
Pacino for the last 20 some years, similar to De Niro, similar to Nicholson, they've just lived off
The
of
Irishman.
who they are.
Don't bring De
I'm
Niro
not-
into this.
I'm not saying there aren't hits here and there. I'm saying as a whole, their best stuff was from
Did you really
decades
think
ago.
I didn't like Heat? Did I really get you on that?
Yeah,
you really
we
did
really
make me
did
think
think
you
that.
didn't like Heat. I was like,
There's no
you don't
way.
like Jojo Rabbit. So when you said you didn't like Heat, I'm like, oh my God.
They are pretty similar.
We're
Really burned that credibility bridge.
I thought we might do a podcast of movies Kashner dislikes that we are all shocked by.
Actually, that,
That
could be
would
a new
be
segment.
great.
is
That
you
would be an
guess-
interesting idea, actually.
A new segment is you guess if I like it or not.
Oh,
And we take
go.
side bets.
That'll be a little break.
Yeah, no. When you said that about Heat, I was like, oh, how do you not think that's a good movie?
All right, Littell, on the turn, you got 2 picks in a row.
Woot.
Dude, you guys took
Took you so long to get here.
you took 3 of my top 5 movies.
That's how the draft works, man.
That's okay. I'm pretty sure you're about to stab me in the face once at least. So
think
go
so?
ahead.
Okay, well, first off, I'm gonna take comedy, and I'm gonna take Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Good choice. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie gets some gut laughs out of me. Real big belly laughs all the time. There's so many good bits. Yeah, I really like the hand grenade, the holy hand grenade to kill the beast, which is a flesh-eating rabbit. It's just good stuff. What are some other good things from that movie, you guys?
What year did that
the
movie
Knights
come
of
out?
Ni.
75?
75.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, just all that cast, that whole classic Monty cast, just is so good together all the time. I don't know if I like this one the most or Life of Brian the most.
I like Life of Brian.
Life of
more.
Brian's pretty great. Yeah.
They're pretty great.
The premise alone is pretty damn funny.
I
For
agree.
Life of Brian.
There's something real simple too, just about the coconuts to make the horse sounds that it catches me off guard every time, and yeah, it's real sweet. I've seen this movie so many times, so many times. That's about all I got to say for that movie. I think it's just kind of great.
It is. It's funny.
Yeah.
Monty Python, basically, I think they do a better job of piecing their skits together to make a funny movie than SNL does.
Oh,
of
I
trying
would
to
agree.
piece their
Yeah.
skits
Yeah.
together to make a movie.
Yeah.
It rarely works. But Monty Python, they make it work a lot more often, I think.
Was it in Monty
Here's another
Python?
podcast idea. SNL skits that actually worked as movies.
Whoever
List
has
is
first pick
Wayne's
wins.
World.
Pinheads.
And
Yeah.
that's it.
That's about it.
Is that the only one?
There are not a lot off the top of my head.
I mean, not at the Roxbury, obviously, but
Jeez.
I'm trying to think if there is an actual other good one. Oh, MacGruber's funny.
MacGruber is awesome.
Salemi hates it.
You hate that? It's stupid funny.
It's absolutely insane, but it is stupid funny.
That scene with the donkey, you don't laugh. You don't laugh at that.
I'll give it another try, but no, I did not think.
I mean, it's got Val
I did
Kilmer
not.
in it.
It does.
Yeah,
I
as the
did enjoy
villain.
it. I did not enjoy it.
Is that Will
I don't know what to
Forte?
tell you.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's so funny.
He's
The
hilarious.
game has changed, but the players are the same. All right, Littell. The comedy's gone. What do you
It
got?
started as a Monty Python talk and quickly devolved. I'm gonna go ahead and take my Oscar pick because I mean it's just got to be Rocky, right? Like Rocky.
Oh, Salemi.
Rocky to me
It's
is
all right. I wasn't
The camera
picking that.
slowly
I wasn't going to pick Rocky. I know that's a surprise, but I wasn't.
I picked this in our Best Picture winners draft as well. I think it's the best sports movie ever made for so many reasons. Like seeing his process, his work ethic in that movie is insanity. Like how hard this man pushes himself to be a good fighter. And the fact, again, that he loses. The fact that he loses the fight at the end is the most poetic thing I've ever seen in a sports movie. And Sylvester Stallone wrote it. How is that possible? How can that man write this movie? It doesn't make sense to me. And like the sequels are decent, especially the second one, and after that it kind of really falls off. I think
Yeah.
Creed
Oh, yeah.
Creed as a series is way more consistent and good,
Yeah.
but this first movie I think is untouchable. Like I just don't get it. I don't get how Sylvester Stallone could write such a good movie. Like
It
this
is
was
an
his
absolute
pet
classic.
project forever.
Why
like
are you
his whole
disrespecting
soul.
Stallone, man? What did he do to you?
There's just no way he can
He's
write
just
this
a
well.
terrible
This
writer. He
moron.
can't write his way out of a box.
This
but-
man started with Rocky and is now doing Expendables. That's all I'm saying.
He used to hang out with his friends and make millions. I would.
It's
admit to.
great.
He's-
There's nothing like this.
Apparently, you didn't watch
What
it.
do you
Boy,
say?
are they
Top.
terrible, though.
What he's doing now, it's Tulsa
Tulsa King.
Tulsa
Yeah.
King, yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't he do this similar because like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck did Goodwill
Good Will
Hunting?
Hunting.
Like we're not getting roles we want, so we'll write something we want.
I think that's right.
I thought that's
Probably,
what Stallone
yeah.
did too.
Wasn't there a trade involved too with Rocky? Like he would do something as long as they would let him make that as the next film.
Yeah.
I don't remember
it,
what it was.
So, what's great about that, and this actually plays into your how could Stallone make such a good movie? He parlayed this into the Saturday Night Fever sequel, Staying Alive, which is one of the worst movies ever made.
Oh, okay.
He wrote that, and it was as bad as
Oh,
it gets.
did he?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he
I did
wrote
not know
that.
Yeah, and then I think the next thing he did would have been First Blood,
Yeah.
the first Rambo.
Which is also an awesome movie.
Yeah.
It felt like he had stuff to say back then. And now he does not.
Didn't you have Over the Top on VHS?
No, but I remember watching Over the Top more than once when I was a kid, man. Hey, you got to turn the hat backwards too. Like that's when he gets in the zone.
When he gets the lip all the way
Yeah.
down there?
Also, the fight with Apollo Creed at the end is so beautifully shot. Like it is visceral. Their punches that they're landing on each other. Like it feels like they're messing each other up big time.
Dude, we're talking about Over the Top, all right?
I know, but
You're also selling
Arm
short
wrestling?
Mick. Mick is
Wait,
Oh,
is
yeah.
that the Hulk Hogan
Hulk
coach?
is
No, that's
awesome.
that's no holds barred. Sorry.
also Adrian as a love interest, I think is so good because she's just like a girl that he likes.
Yo,
she's just
Adrian.
a lady in his life that he really loves.
yeah.
one of
She's not
those-
like some supermodel hottie or whatever. It's like no, this is like real love.
It's just a
rare,
regular girl from the neighborhood.
Perfect
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Like an actual perfect movie.
it has so much heart.
All right, Salemi, you've taken your blockbuster. What do you got next?
All right, I took. What did I take? Oh, Blockbuster. My bad. I'm sorry. I am gonna go with comedy. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go with comedy, and I'm going with 1974, the original, The Longest Yard. With Burt
I like that
Reynolds.
movie a lot.
Yeah.
that movie's funny.
on the
I don't
list.
find the Adam Sandler one nearly as amusing.
Well, I think
but
what makes the first
original-
one so good is that like that whole last scene that's just a football game is like very well done. Like,
Yeah.
it's really good.
And I mean, I know it's not prison, but I think they do you give the impression that these are prison guards and prisoners more than the remake did. And when the guard that he lets him come through, like, don't block him, I'll get him, and he keeps throwing the ball into his cup. And he keeps wobbling back to the huddle. Like the huddle's breaking and he's getting into the huddle. I like that movie very, very much. It's a humorous film. And then at the very end, I really was wondering, is he going to shoot him? Is he
Right.
going to shoot
You
him?
gonna kill this dude?
Yeah. What's he doing? Why does he keep walking away? Why is he not listening? Love that movie. And I watched that with my dad on some random Saturday night when it was on TV. Like, that's all those movies. Basically, every movie I have on here, I pretty much watched with my dad on a Saturday night.
yeah.
That's cool.
Prime
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds was a different beast.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, he made a lot of money making movies that nobody should have made. I mean, they're just not good. Gator. That's a bad. There are so
That
many
movie
bad
sucks.
movies he made, but people are paying him. So what the hell? What are you going to do? But Longest Yard is one of the few movies he made where it was good, and he didn't really have to be anything other than his cocky self. Like, he was an athlete in college. He was a big time athlete, and all he is just being his cocky self in that movie. So yeah, that's it for me. Longest Yard comedy.
All right, I'm up. I have a pick.
Yes, you do.
Will allow it.
Vetoed.
For my Oscar pick, I'm going to take Dog Day Afternoon.
Good movie.
Oh dang it.
Another Al Pacino.
Yeah, for an Al Pacino hater, you're kind of
Again,
giving him
the
all the praise
70s was
today.
his era, man.
It was definitely he.
I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Before
that's
he
true.
became
If you have a whole
wheelhouse.
decade that's your era, are you overrated? Question answer. Don't know.
I think so.
Did you like him in Glengarry and Glen Ross?
I've never seen that.
Oh
Really?
man, there's some good one-liners from that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great cast. I just
Oh, yeah.
haven't seen it.
Is that Alec Baldwin too? Is that him?
Yeah.
He kills in that movie.
Kevin Spacey's in it.
Yeah.
Baldwin's got some of the best lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffees for Closers and
So
ABC.
Dog Day Afternoon.
Jack Lemmon's in it,
What's
too,
the
I
guy?
think,
Who's the co-star with him? Because I really like him and he died young.
John Cazale.
Yes.
Don't think he made a bad movie. It was Dog Day Afternoon, the Godfather movies, Deer Hunter, and then he died.
Wow.
Dang.
And his girlfriend was
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were big time boyfriend girlfriend. Which he's an
think she's-
amazing actor, and I don't think he did anything bad.
No, and this movie is my favorite of his. I mean, they're all obviously he didn't have a ton, but they were all heavy hitters. But this one I really enjoyed because it's just like it's kind of like a bottle episode of a TV show where it's all filmed in one spot.
Right.
Wasn't he Fredo?
Yes,
yeah,
he is.
he's
He's
Fredo.
Fredo as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just such a good movie.
No, the relationship that the two of them have
Yeah,
is very interesting. How one relies on the other, and it's a really good film.
Arvin.
I feel really good about my list so far too. I hope you guys are enjoying your list.
So much gone.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take my comedy too because we're on a run of comedies here. So I'm gonna go with I think Mel Brooks' best
Yeah.
movie of the '70s. I'm gonna go with Young Frankenstein.
Did you see me taking that movie?
Yes.
Is that what you were worried
Maybe.
about? Yeah.
I was a little worried you
I
might
was-
actually take it from me.
I love that movie so much, but I think
It's
in my
great.
heart, I just love Monty Python so much.
Yeah.
It was like this one, that one, or Blazing Saddles. was
Well, and
kinda
the great thing is you actually could have taken it in Blockbuster. You could have taken it in Oscars. Like,
True.
Yeah.
it's in several categories. So it's like, oh man, I really hope it lasts to my second pick. So that's the downside of getting Jaws so early. Is that I had to like really sweat it out. So yeah, Young Frankenstein. I just the accents. Igor is just fantastic to me. Madeline Kahn is classic, and just Gene Wilder. Like
Yes.
I love Gene Wilder. Like he's
It's just such a
fantastic.
likable cast.
It
I've
is.
been in love with Madeline Kahn since the first time I saw Clue and everything else that I've seen her in.
She's
Yeah, she's
drop dead gorgeous. dude.
amazing.
She's
And a
amazing.
great
And she's
actress.
hilarious.
So funny.
Like her comic timing is insane. I mean, just she's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I think I know the answer to this, but big fan of gag reel, blooper reel stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is the first movie it's not the first gag reel I ever saw or blooper reel, but it's the oldest movie that I've seen that has a blooper reel.
Yeah.
And you can find it on YouTube. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Watching Gene Wilder break.
Break, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
I'll have to check that out because I don't know that I've seen it before, but that's awesome.
There's probably something that's older that has a blooper reel, but
I
that's
feel like
the
Mel
oldest one I've
Brooks
seen.
did that a lot because there's one for Blazing Saddles too. So it's like,
Yeah.
I think he just liked
That
doing
that makes sense. I mean, you
Yeah.
like save all that because you never know what you're going to find in the edit. And
Well, you
that
do
could
so many
become a gold,
takes,
too.
and they do different
Right.
ad lib jokes. That
Absolutely.
there's so much cutting room floor stuff.
Yeah.
That used to be one of my favorite. Like when DVDs were first a thing, right? Like if there was a blooper reel on there, that would sometimes that would be the first thing I would watch when I popped in the DVD for the first time. Is just like, let's see how it got made. You know, I find that stuff fascinating. So yeah,
Every
100%.
Adam McKay movie.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Because it's him shouting out lines and them trying it.
Oh my god, yeah.
The version
I mean-
of what you're talking about, like for Anchorman,
Yeah.
is unreal.
And they made an entire other Anchorman out of all the unused lines. And there's an entire other cast. Like Maya Rudolph was in that movie and didn't show up in the actual movie. But she's in Wake Up Ron Burgundy, the whole other movie that they made out of the edits of that.
I did not even know this is.
It's,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like an hour and 26 minutes
There's
long. I
so
have it on
much.
DVD.
Is it just a
I don't
bunch of
think they've ever
bloopers, or is
released
it? Did they
Kinda.
really?
It's basically
Sew
like
it together
no.
like
There's
a
a
movie.
whole other plot. Like
Yeah.
the
Okay.
panda that's giving birth at the zoo. There's a whole plot that revolved
It's
around
technically
that.
I'll have
deleted
to look
scenes.
into this.
Yeah.
All right.
It's stuff that they didn't use from the first
yeah,
one.
there's a whole other news crew that you never see as part of it. It's
It's hella funny too.
and it actually works.
really
Like
I
it
had no
works
idea
as a
that
as
this
a little bit.
existed.
There's a little bit of like connective tissue that they use, maybe like 5 minutes from the actual Anchorman, but then they put that out there, and it's crazy. It was like a bonus if you pre-ordered it at Best Buy in like I don't know 2005 or 6 or whatever.
I'll have
It's
to
kinda
look at this.
Were you gonna say something before?
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Is there a comedy of any that ends on a better note?
Then put on the Ritz.
Putting on the Ritz. Like it really has nothing to do with the rest of the
No.
movie necessarily.
not
It's
even a
just
little bit.
here's what happened to him in life.
That's another like
We-
Mel Brooks flair, I think, because Blazing Saddles also has like that whole show production at the end. That's like, well, okay, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
This took a wild left turn.
Yeah.
Here we are.
What
Yeah.
is that actor's name, by the way?
Who's Frankenstein's
man.
monster?
Young
Peter Boyle.
Yeah.
Peter Boyle.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Yep.
And he is not. I don't think he's in any other comedy in his life, is he?
The
Like, he-
Bride of Frankenstein.
Everybody loves Raymond. The
Yeah,
show.
but I'm talking about movies. Like normally in movies he played a tough guy.
Yeah,
type
he was
of
either
dude.
the bad guy security guard or he was like a crooked cop or something like
Right. He was always a hard nosed person, and then he played young Frankenstein.
that. Yeah.
He played Frankenstein. Like I know he's not supposed to be comedic, but it was still an odd thing to see. It was a little jarring that he was cast that way.
Next
It's
pick.
also pronounced Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Steen. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
apologize. Should have
That's
done
okay.
that right.
No, that's okay.
All
That's
right, Arvin.
So that's my comedy, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my blockbuster here, and that's where I'm gonna take Blazing Saddles. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna leave it for somebody.
to
I mean, I feel like somebody needs that. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and take The Sting.
Oh no! Dang it!
I love The Sting. I love that movie so much. It's fantastic. So.
Oh no,
Yeah.
my heart.
That's
It
a
can't
sequel, by
take
the
it.
way, that really is bad. So,
Oh,
but
oh, the
Sting is
sequel to The Sting. Yeah.
But The Sting is an amazing.
What is
film.
the sequel called?
Sting 2?
Oh,
I think it's
God.
just Sting 2, and it's Jackie Gleason, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I
But it's
remember
just, yeah,
seeing it like
yeah.
way back in the day, but yeah, I've never
No.
ever revisited
Gooder
it.
and Stingier is the second title.
I will give you $1,000 if that's the tagline to that movie. Gooder and Stingier, The Sting 2.
But no,
That's
Paul
terrible.
Newman and Robert Redford.
Ah.
What a duo, dude. Like, oh my gosh.
Just fantastic. Yeah.
The charisma they both share the
like that's
whole
like
time.
two movie stars just doing their thing.
Yeah.
I mean, for almost 3 hours. Like
Just
Oh,
being
man.
handsome, charismatic, pulling off some heists.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just love it. I've always really had a soft spot in my heart for that movie. And I maybe saw it, like the first time I saw it, I think I saw it a little too young and then revisited it in my 20s and I was like, oh no, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like it when I was a kid. Like I think I caught it on a Saturday and I was like, what is this? Like, what is going on? It's way too long and there's way too much talking. And like, it turns out 12-year-old me was an idiot.
The opening scene when they take the mobster who's running the money, the black guy who's on the ground, Luther, you know who he is in real life. Like, he's the dad of
No.
anybody?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
That's Robert Earl Jones.
Wow.
That is James Earl Jones' father.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I read about that, found that out after James Earl Jones died, and I was reading different obituaries and whatnot, and I read that. I was like, mind blown. So I knew it wasn't, but in my head, I had James Earl Jones as that guy, but they look so similar, and their voices are so similar, and it's obviously why.
You know what threw me off kind of in a similar way? Do you know who Maya Rudolph's mom is?
No,
Minnie Riperton.
I don't. Who is that? I'm sorry.
Minnie Riperton?
Yeah. I'm
You
gonna
know
need
that
more.
song?
I do not.
She was
It's
a
the one with
famous
the really
sociopath.
high-pitched line.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Well,
not
on the
gonna
way
even
home, I'll
attempt to do it.
Spotify that.
You know the song. There's no
I
way
probably
about
do.
it.
I don't realize this. Yeah, but Paul, going back to this thing, that might be my favorite, and I love
Ooh,
Paul Newman.
Your
It might be
favorite
my
Paul Newman movie?
It might be.
It's a good one.
When
Is that
he
how you spell
is when he's
stingier?
playing cards in the train, acting drunk. That's that whole scene, and he's mocking the mobster. Like all of it, I love that.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Have you guys seen Spy Game?
Yes.
With
Yeah.
Robert Redford and Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
That just shows you that they're just people that were born to be movie stars. We can just put
Yeah.
a camera on them and just kind of watch what they do.
Their presence is
And it's
like-
interesting. I mean, that
Yeah, it's the presence because Robert Redford. I don't know that he doesn't make any choices that stands out as like, oh wow, that was a really interesting role or whatever. He's just in a lot of good movies, and it's
He's
like
captivating.
I just want to watch this guy.
Yeah.
And then Brad Pitt's got the same charisma, and so you kind of have them have the Paul Newman factor there, but it's like, oh, I got two Redfords now, and it works. It's really good.
I
Have
think
you
I
ever
still-
seen Sneakers?
I love Sneak.
It's like
Yeah,
Spy
yeah.
Game, but comedy.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a fun movie.
good.
I'd
Yeah.
still give it to Cool Hand Luke, I think, for best Newman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Butch
that's-
Cassidy is also very good.
Yes.
Well, there's a difference between a Paul Newman movie and a Newman and Redford movie.
I mean, I agree.
They're a really
That
good,
duo
a
is
dynamic
crazy.
duo.
How many movies
Butch
did they
Cassidy.
do together? Just off. Does anyone know? Is it just those two, or
No, I
did they
thought
do
they
a
had-
series of movies?
No,
together?
they had more.
Okay.
We'll-
Were they
we'll
in
look that up.
Hudsucker Proxy together, or is it just Newman in that one?
I think that
Redford-
was just Newman.
Redford wasn't in it. All right, I'm up. I've taken my Oscar. I've taken my blockbuster. And now I'm going to take my action drama thriller, and I'm going to take The Outlaw Josie Wales.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Oh, you can't say that
Dude,
word on the
I want
podcast.
you, look, on my list. On my list. That's the only Academy Award movie I put on my list. I thought nobody would take that. Are you serious?
It's such a good movie. Why would I not
It's
grab
a
it?
great movie.
Yeah. Great.
Have you even seen? Are you doing this just to mess with me?
Did you look at my list?
It's the only movie I have on the Academy because I was so certain. Someone's gonna have to open up that.
This is how I
file.
felt about Littell last podcast.
I just. Oh my god!
Don't do that. Give it back.
It's gonna
I
make
honestly
you
was
feel
gonna
better
wait till the
to
end
rip it up a little bit.
to even draft it because I thought, well, no one's gonna take the Outlaw Josie Wales.
You were wrong. What a fatal mistake on your part.
I'll get some inner peace here. Go ahead. Go ahead. What would you like to say about the Outlaw Josie Wales?
I look forward to watching it. It looks like a good movie.
I hear Clint Eastwood's in it.
No, that is one where. Do you want to talk about it?
I want
Hand me the camera real quick because I think we really missed a gold mine not getting Salimi's face when that happened.
It never occurred to me that anybody. I don't think we've even ever talked about this movie, like you and I. So I was certain that you hadn't seen it. I was
Oh,
pretty
no, I
sure
don't.
Arvin's never saw it.
Oh no, I've seen it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
It's an amazing film. Go on. Go ahead. I apologize.
I had it in two versions of my life. When I was younger, it was a similar situation with my dad. You know, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, whatever it was, an old movie's playing on TCM or whatever. Outlaw Josie Wales was one of the first ones. That was the first Clint Eastwood. And I want to say True Grit was my first John Wayne. I remember that vividly watching that with my dad. And then in college, my two roommates, Sam and John, they enjoyed Westerns too. And so we had Jeremiah Johnson, Outlaw Josie Wales.
Robert Redford.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
that era of film we just had on a loop. And I absolutely love it. I did do that on purpose because I knew you were going to take it next and I really wanted it.
Well, thank you.
So now I kind of want to see what you do for Oscar.
There are so many great Clint Eastwood scenes. Like, if you've seen Unforgiven, right?
Yeah, I love that movie.
So you know that the end of the scene when he gets his guy, there's like 5 of those scenes in The Outlaw Josie Wales.
That sounds awesome.
It tracks Josie Wales from when he was a farmer. And when I say track, like some of these scenes the farmer scenes no more than 5 minutes, I bet. And then he joins the rebel army.
But it shows the passage.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then the rebels surrender, and then his life after. But there's just different moments where he gives the comeuppance to somebody who has it coming.
Oh man, that sounds like just a good movie to have on. Whenever.
And it's one of those, the cliche of riding off into the sunset. Like that's where that comes from. It's just
Really?
so good.
It's like a perfect movie to show if you owned a bar.
Yeah.
You just put it on that TV.
It's like
you walk in at any point.
The essence of a Western in that movie.
I'm not kidding you. I don't think there's ever been a time in my life where if I'm flipping through channels and it's on, I don't care where it's at in the movie, that I'm, all right, I'll just watch this now.
Yeah.
And like, I'll call my dad and tell him, hey, Outlaw Josie Wales is on, and he'll do the same thing. Like every Saturday night, WGN, every Saturday night, either 10 o'clock or 10:45.
And there's no
I don't
Cubs
know why
game.
it would start at 10:45 at night. Yeah, there's definitely
Right,
no Cubs
the
game.
Cubbies aren't on.
There's no lights at Wrigley then. They played a Western of some sort or another. Or they'd play like a movie like Sting. So all these movies I sat and watched with my dad. And Outlaw Josie Wales is probably one of his. He's a big, the spaghetti Westerns that Clint Eastwood made. He loves those too. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak for him and say Outlaw Josie Wales is his favorite, but it's definitely my favorite. And the only Oscar movie I put down. Oh, well, the Oscar will just be blank this time.
You can tell you really liked that movie because you talked about it a lot.
A lot more than Cash did.
Even though Cash picked it.
I knew I didn't need to.
It's funny as well. Like, there are some funny scenes in that movie.
Too bad it's not yours, right?
You're up. Sorry.
Yes, I am. So let's see here. What shall I take?
Did
What
you
shall
wanna
I
look
take?
at some of the
what
other
is
Oscar
your?
He's just lost
where
now.
are your Oscars at on here?
They're the ones that are shaded.
Oh, shaded. You know what?
You can still take The Exorcist.
No, I'm not.
Midway's up there.
I am going to take, because it is on my list for Blockbuster, so I'll take it for Oscar. I'm going to take American Graffiti.
That's
There you go.
I
Nice.
love that movie.
Yeah, that's an excellent one.
That's
Yeah.
Ron Howard. That's a young Ron Howard. in the
Yes.
movie, right? Yeah.
Harrison Ford,
Yeah.
And so, Lemmy, do you know who directed that?
You should.
Steven Spielberg,
You're close.
Close, very
Spike
close.
Lee,
His best
George Lucas.
George Lucas.
Yeah.
I was probably not going to get to that.
That's
It's kind of like Dazed and Confused.
I honestly
It's
didn't
like
think
the-
you would.
What, American Graffiti?
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of, because it's interweaving everyone's stories in
That
one
night,
night.
yeah.
Right.
It's like a
Yeah.
snapshot in time. This
Yeah.
is what life was like here
Yeah.
at this time.
It was.
And it's still like, when you watch it, I mean, that's how I always feel when I watch it, is this is the way life was, and it was accurately portrayed. I feel the same way about Dazed and Confused, and that I can understand better or connect better. I mean, American Graffiti was before my time, but as far as what life was like,
Yeah.
what they're portraying, but it's really well done. I like
Well,
that movie.
And it's cool that a movie like that exists because it's the precursor. It's the reason why we got Happy Days. And so that's why we're able to get a look into that time. You know, because like if you watch Leave It to Beaver, it's like that's a 50s
Yeah.
show, but it's like idyllic, not real.
Right.
And not that Happy Days is like hard hitting, like
Right.
true life or whatever. But no, it's like an actual view into that time, kind of like how Grease was. Grease was 78, but it showed a really great, late 50s
Yeah.
view of what life was like.
Yeah, for kids,
30,
they- well, 'cause
30-year-old
it's
high
like-
school students.
Well, they're graduating high school in the movie, right? That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
and a couple of them could pass as being
Right. Yeah, like these 28-year-olds playing
Right,
16-year-olds and stuff.
Richard Dreyfuss struggling with what he's going to
That
do,
is Richard
and then
Dreyfuss,
he's
yeah.
going to go to the Vietnam War. Who is the young girl in the car with Harrison Ford? She's the daughter of the Mamas and the Papas. She starred in
It's Molly
One Day at a
Ringwald.
Time, the sitcom One Day at a Time. She was in this.
Mackenzie Phillips.
Yes. She's like 14, 15 in it. Like she was one of the few people. And when you watched it, you're like, you look like you're in middle school, which I'm pretty sure Harrison Ford mocks her about that. That's what pisses her off. But she ends up riding around that night with Harrison Ford. It's a clean. In the other part too, I don't know what's rated, but it could probably be rated G. There's not a single
PG.
cuss word in that movie. I bet
It's rated
Yeah.
PG.
PG.
Yeah.
I don't know what the purpose would be or why it could have occurred. Wolfman Jack's in the movie too.
Maybe some themes, some adult themes in the movie.
There are some adult themes. Yeah.
All right, Littell, you've got your Oscar and your comedy taken. What do you got next?
Dude, I
Two in a row.
don't know. God. The pool is just getting smaller and smaller for things that I want to pick.
And have seen.
I will definitely. God, I don't even know how I label this. Would you call this a drama or a thriller? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pick my thriller here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh.
I think that movie, especially for the budget, I think it was made on less than $1 million, something crazy like that.
Easily.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like 100, 200,000 maybe. What you get out of that movie is one of the grittiest, horrific, like
Scariest.
realistic,
Yes.
just crazy killers I've ever seen in a movie. And I love too that it's kind of an allegory for like America during the Vietnam War. Because like the whole point is like, I don't know if you knew this or not. He was trying to get across the idea that like,
I was scared most of the movie. I didn't get anything other than fear. I got a lot of fear when I watched that movie as a kid.
well, it's supposed to be like the American government is like purposefully killing its own people by going to this war. Like,
Right.
This is how we're feeling. Like you're sending us to die just for whatever. But yeah,
Is
there's
Leatherface the government?
yeah,
Okay.
basically. But that scene when they're just all sitting at the family table is like that. I have that image burned into my head. They're such freaks. Like,
That movie, that of all, I don't know how many different Chainsaw Massacre movies
Too
there
many.
are, but that is by
140,000. Wow. It was made for $140,000. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were gonna, there's not
There's been
140,000
140,000
videos. No.
It's not even $1 million adjusted for inflation.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it is the scariest of all of them. I mean,
Oh, yeah, the original?
is-
For
And
sure.
really doesn't show much. It's
No.
No.
it's,
Yeah. It's
you
the
have to
implied-
picture
yeah.
what's happening to these people.
Yeah,
Although-
it
Which is
trippy.
scarier.
Yeah, it really
always.
is.
Reminds
Old
me
girl
of
just
all
hanging
worse
from the
things.
hook though is like,
Yeah,
dude,
that's bad.
And she's there for so long. Like, she's just hanging, and yeah. Also, the promotion, like people thought this was real, like that this really happened.
Yeah,
And, like,
I
it's
remember
like-
it. I remember the story that this was based on a true story. And
Right.
you're like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
my god, what?
Right.
Leatherface.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that.
And just the ending, just him just like dancing with his chainsaw as he's killed everyone and one makes it. It's like Jesus. Yeah, that movie messed me up 'cause I saw that way too young. I was pretty scared of Leatherface for a long time.
It left an indelible impression upon you.
Yeah. Also, I think they used Ed Gein, that serial killer, for a lot of the inspiration to
Yeah.
make Leatherface. So yeah, really disturbing. Just a really disturbing, scary movie.
All right, Blockbuster, Misunderstood, and Wild Card. What's your next pick?
Dude, you guys have taken all my movies. Okay, I'm gonna go Wild Card, and I'm gonna take Assault on Precinct 13. It's one of my favorite John Carpenter movies because I just love how simple he's so good with like small sets.
You
Like,
really love John Carpenter.
I do love John Carpenter. He's probably my favorite horror director ever. But his sets are always so small. Like the place, the environments, the scenery is always so condensed to just one location.
Like Escape from New York City.
Yeah, like New York City, real small locale. But like
It's tiny.
Halloween, it's just like a part of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like the Thing. It's just one base in
Yeah.
Alaska. I think this is one of the most claustrophobic, especially for what's happening, because like this police station just gets swarmed by villains, and like it is tense the whole time. Like there's maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the beginning where you're figuring out these are all the people, here's all the players, and then boom, hits the fan. And I think it's L.A., right? They're in L.A.
Are they?
they're
I thought it was
coast.
New York.
In precinct 13.
I think they're in L.A.
I don't know.
I don't remember where.
I thought it was New York City,
man.
but it's been a while since I saw it. So
You might be thinking
That-
of Escape from L.A.
That would have been my
that might be
guess,
it
but
too.
yeah.
Which is after Escape from New York.
But no, I mean they're literally just cops fighting a street gang that are descending on their precinct,
Los Angeles.
and they get the
That is
criminals.
You're right.
The 2 criminals end up helping, but there's also a cost to that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, really good, really short too. If anyone wants a really good Halloween or just thriller movie,
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say it's Halloween, but
no, but you
it's a
know,
good movie.
Yeah.
I would suggest anyone watch it for sure.
It's really tense.
All right, so Lemmy, Misunderstood, Wildcard, and action thriller drama.
All right, I'm going to go with Misunderstood because
boy.
I only have 2 on my list for Misunderstood. It's hard. And I really do like this movie, and I watched it with my father. Rooster Cogburn.
Never heard of it. What is this movie?
You've seen True Grit.
I love True Grit.
That's
Both of
Rooster.
them. Oh, it's like a
Rooster
sequel?
Yes, and it's John Wayne and don't tell me, dang it, it was just Katharine Hepburn.
Wow. And
Yes.
people didn't like this movie?
The score on Rotten Tomatoes, 45%.
Wow.
45%. I don't know how that's possible for a John Wayne movie, but thank God for people having bad taste that they don't know any better because I get to pick it. And it's not as good as True Grit. I don't even know if Rooster Cogburn's based on a book like True Grit is. I'm guessing they just capitalized on the fact that True Grit was very popular, made money, so let's go with this.
Yeah.
But-
just a few years later.
Yeah, the fun most of the movie takes place with John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn going around the countryside to go after the bad guys and just their conversation. Like she's a Bible thumping individual whose husband has been killed by these bad guys, and Rooster is still drinking hard, cussing hard, shooting anything that moves, and just their conversations throughout. A lot of fun.
I know we've talked about this before, but I think also just like a remake that's better than the original. Just that original True Grit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's better, but it's as I enjoyed it as much, like the fun aspect of it. And
Oh,
Katharine
I'd say it's
Hepburn
better.
does a great job in the movie.
Roger Ebert from 1975, his review, 1 star.
Woo!
1 star.
Well,
For John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn,
yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, Robert Duvall is in this movie as
Robert
well.
Duvall? Man, I've never seen this
Can
movie.
you check I think Robert Duvall's in the movie. He plays one of the bad guys. I'm trying to think of a couple other people. There's a young Indian that is along for the ride with Katharine Hepburn, but it's not played by anyone in particular.
By Indian, do you mean like a Native American?
I do mean by Native American. So
An Indian?
no,
John McIntyre.
no Robert Duvall.
No, I bet he was in the original True Grit, and that's why I'm getting it confused.
You're just making stuff up.
Well, there's that too. As I go along. No, there isn't, man. And I
It
tell
is
you
called
what,
Mr. Cogburn, though, so he's got
it is-
that.
yeah, huh? To be honest with you, I would have bet just about anything that he was in it too. He must have been in the original True Grit. And that's why I'm getting confused.
It's sad seeing you like losing you to dementia like this. It just kind
Hey,
of
but the good thing is, I won't remember it. I'm not going to remember.
Well, that got real fast.
I'm looking forward to when you come and visit me and you play these podcasts back, so I can
It's a way to
relive
remember.
it. Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to get a t-shirt made that says, I took Outlaw Josie Wales. Never forget. All right. I'm up. And similarly, I'm going to go Misunderstood because, again, there are so many movies from the 70s I haven't seen. I haven't seen a lot of the bad ones. So I'm going to go with The Man with the Golden Gun.
The Man with the Golden Gun.
what is
Well,
that
now
movie?
I'm mad at you.
Which
If I go,
surprised me that it got a rotten score. Like I kind of wasn't even close. But yeah, no, it's Christopher Lee, which you're getting like
I
an
love Christopher.
all-time great as Scaramanga, the the baddie. You've got. I'm trying to think. Is this the first Roger Moore?
I would know. You know me and James Bond.
Yeah,
Pre 2000
You love
doesn't
it.
exist to me much.
but either way,
Well, because Live and Let Die was also
that's the first.
73. I
That's
think Live and Let
73.
Die is the first
and
one.
then this one's the next year
yeah,
because they came out.
74, but they were like
boom.
right. They were real close to each other.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Live and Let Die is Jane Seymour.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's also a Paul McCartney with Wings song.
it sure is.
I know trivia.
Look, I'm contributing to the conversation, guys.
Well, it was the theme song to the movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Paul McCartney's
I believe it
song.
was.
Okay.
It's actually originally it was a
Like
Guns N'
accidental.
Roses song.
yeah.
Turns out originally,
I did
pretty
not
sure
know that.
Axl Rose wrote that.
As big of a Guns N' Roses fan as I am, boy, that is a song they should never have remade.
I forgot that remake existed until you
yeah,
said that.
it's bad.
Oh my gosh.
It's not as bad as Knocking on Heaven's Door. No, that's
boy.
horrible.
I don't even like the original, but I hate that even more. The Man with the Golden Gun. The Man with the Golden Gun. Is this a James Bond film? Because I've never seen this myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never seen this. So
man,
this
yeah.
is a James Bond film, and who is James Bond?
Roger Moore.
He's a
Roger
spy.
Moore.
Roger
Okay.
Moore.
Nah, who was playing
He
him?
works for MI6.
The next time we do this, I'm sitting next to Littell so I can punch him.
Just like throttle me.
That's fair.
James
other-
Bond is targeted by the world's most expensive assassin while he attempts to recover sensitive solar cell technology that is being sold to the highest bidder. Christopher Lee is Scaramanga, he's the bad guy, and the
Right.
Golden Gun, one shot kills you.
That's right.
All right.
Which you would know if you had ever played GoldenEye for Nintendo 64.
Yeah, that game is
Duh.
crazy. Is that where that? So that comes from that movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
where
who
the Golden
else?
Gun comes from.
Hervé Villachet. The plane.
The plane boss.
Oh,
interesting,
you
too.
know what? Wait a minute.
He's,
Maybe I have seen
he's
it.
Knick-Knack.
What's it? Oh, that's his name, Knick-Knack.
Maybe
Oh my
I have
God. What
seen
a
that.
He's Tattoo on
Knick-Knack.
Fantasy Island. He's Knick-Knack and
Knick-Knack.
Man with the Golden Gun.
I was trying to come up
Interesting.
with that, and I was like, oh.
The old days when you could put short people in films and make fun of them for it.
Well,
You don't get to do that anymore.
Like in Bruges.
that's right. It's a different world now.
Converge.
There's another edit for cash.
You can't mention that movie and not say that.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
mean,
fair.
yeah.
I opened the door.
wanted to do it, but
That's such a great line in that film. And then he
also
uses it again.
5310 cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arvin, you got two picks: action, thriller, drama, misunderstood, and wild card.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're not going to take my misunderstood, so I'm just going to leave it alone. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to go with, let's see here. I think I'm going to go action, drama, thriller.
Fat City.
No. No, although I also don't know what that is.
People love it.
Do they? That's really good, Peepaw. I'm gonna go with All the President's Men.
Ooh.
Another Redford,
Yeah.
and just a great story. Like really brought history alive there. Like something that you wouldn't think could be as interesting as it is, really turns out to be kind of amazing. So, yeah, that's my pick there. I think is All the President's Men.
Dustin Hoffman too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the one I feel bad I haven't seen, but I really,
Oh, really?
I really want to see that one.
It's a good one. It's
Yeah.
good. It's worth your time. It's worth your time. I mean, yeah, I think it's really cool to kind of get like that behind the scenes thing, and especially for someone who wasn't aware of that scandal really until I got into college and started like learning more about Watergate and all that kind of stuff. Like, kind of getting the inside story of it in a really cool dramatic reenactment.
It's kind of rare to have a movie that close to the actual event and be that good.
Yeah.
Because you'll have movies that try to capitalize on, like after 9/11, how many World Trade Center
Oh my
movies were
gosh,
there? And
there
they're
were so many.
really bad.
Yeah.
But this
They got
is...
Diddy movies out already, or Diddy documentaries.
Do they
whatever.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something.
The 50 Cent paid for it. And he's got like a really huge one that just came out.
That doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
I think
So
Argo
the
is kind of the
turnaround's
same
even
vein.
quicker.
I feel like Argo is a good similar thing about the stuff that happened in the Middle East that was
Yeah.
made pretty soon right after.
No.
No.
It wasn't made right
No.
after though, right?
Argo
because that
takes
was
place
Ben,
in
like, Ben
70s.
Affleck did it.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the Iran hostage crisis, right?
Argo
Isn't that what
has
Argo's
to do
about?
with the Iran hostage crisis, which is the 70s.
But it wasn't made
That
until
movie was
the-
made in the 2000s.
Yeah.
That was 2012.
It was declassified. Information was declassified in the mid 90s that allowed them to make that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
what I
another
was
movie
thinking.
title I can't say without the F word.
Argo?
Argo, F yourself.
Arfgo?
No, not at all.
Argo?
Hey,
Sure, man. Whatever. You know what? Whatever makes you happy.
it's
A lot of things, maybe.
So you've never seen all of the President's Men? When you watch it, they sort of created the blueprint for all these other movies where it's based on reporters and there's
Yeah,
the
like
newsroom.
Spotlight.
Spotlight, I was
Yeah.
just going to
Spotlight's-
say.
It's very similar.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a movie before this where they did it like that.
I can't
and it
think of
became
one.
sort of the blueprint. Like you'll see
what,
sort of
like Network
themes in
was
it.
maybe around kind of similar
I love
times, but it's
Network.
Yeah.
but it's
Same year.
broadcast TV, so it's
Oh, is it
there.
the
It's a
same
little
year?
different. Was it
76.
different? Oh wow, okay.
This same year.
I thought it was further apart, but yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
but you're right. That's broadcast, but it's still
know.
sort of the same.
It's kind of the same environment, like the
Right.
newsroom, and I mean, I assume that's a lot different now. But
I was going to say, that's
like
back when it
people
was respected
investigating
a
and
lot
reporting,
more.
and yeah.
What's the one,
like the investigative journalism aspect
yeah.
of it is not looked at as much anymore. Yeah,
What's the newsroom movie in the 80s? It has Albert Brooks in it and Holly Hunter, and it is amazing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take us off.
No,
Broadcast
you're-
news?
Broadcast.
is that broadcast news?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
About the team in New York or whatever?
Yeah, because that's what, when you say network, I always think of broadcast news as well.
Yeah.
There's similarities, but broadcast
They're both
news is
good.
far funnier.
1987.
87. Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it's broadcast news is more like in your face funny. And
Yeah.
network is very like subtle and
Oh,
dry
yeah.
humor. But I will say
Yeah.
the ending to network is ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
just shooting this man on TV for
Oh.
it's so good.
All right, Arvin, misunderstood and wild card.
All right. Well, the good news is, since my last pick, nobody has picked the misunderstood film that I had picked out. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it now. See, guys, that was a joke because I picked last. Okay. The jokes are the best when you have to explain them. So misunderstood, I'm going to go with a movie, much like Salimi, that I watched with my dad, probably way too much. It was also a VHS tape that we had, so we could watch it whenever we wanted to. Is anybody, you want to guess?
I've got something written down, but go ahead.
No, go ahead. Put it out there.
No, because
Was
he
it
hasn't picked
Nashville?
one yet.
Oh,
And I'm
sure.
like,
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Nashville, nice. It's not. It is Jesus Christ
Superstar?
Superstar.
God, that movie's
that's
so good.
below 50?
It's 50% exactly.
Is it really? That movie's so funny.
I growing up, it was like oh my God, this is amazing. Like, look at these hippies on this bus. And like just the way
Yeah.
that it starts where they're like, hey, let's take this psychedelic bus out into the desert in the Holy Land, supposedly, but it's probably like Arizona, right? And then it's like, all right, here we go. And then they just launch into it and they're so serious about it. And growing up Catholic, it was like, this is amazing, but not in the same way I think my dad wanted it to be. But I do have that like memory of like, us enjoying this as a family like several different times, because my dad was like very into musicals and all that kind of stuff, and so like that was one of the ways we connected, was like with the music stuff. And so I was just like, all right, yeah, let's give this a shot, and we did, and it was hilarious to
Yeah.
me. So
The
and I
scenes-
love Pontius Pilate in there too.
Dude.
Just
That might be my
he's
favorite character in the whole
fantastic.
movie.
He's wonderful. I don't know the actor who played him, because I don't know that I've ever actually looked deeper into it. And then when I was like, I wonder what that movie's Rotten Tomato score was, because it was on my list. Let's check it out, and I did, and it was at 50%. I was like, all right, that's the pick then. That's literally the only one that I put down for misunderstood.
I only wrote one, too.
Yeah.
I was like, if somebody takes it, I'm screwed.
I've got two.
100%.
I'm still waiting to see. I have a pretty good feeling that he might pick it.
He's
Just-
not going to take it.
Bro, don't think so?
You guys might have to help me at this point.
I bet he hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
My other Rotten Tomato was,
Oh man, if he takes that, I'll be amazed.
and
Yeah.
technically it's not even. It was a made-for-television movie,
Right.
So
Can we take concert movies? Because the song remains the same from Zeppelin, isn't this time frame.
oh,
And
Is
I was prepared to take it if all my others got it.
Was it less than 50%?
I'd say go for
No,
it.
no, I just mean in
Oh,
general.
Gotcha. Yeah, why not?
All right.
I think so.
If
not
it's a
gonna take
film that came out during that time frame, I think you go for it.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right.
All right, I'm up comedy and wild card. I'm going to go ahead and do my comedy now, and I'm going to take Car Wash.
Well, there goes Car Wash, Littell.
Oh no, not Car Wash.
You know who thinks this movie's really, really funny?
Adam Castner.
My dad. My
Really?
dad really loves this movie. I know I've talked about my dad a lot, but this is another one that we watched together. I thought it was amusing. That man thinks it's hilarious.
Is it Richard Pryor? Is that
It's not a good movie.
He's got like a small role, I think. Is Richard Pryor in it?
He's one of the main guys.
Okay, I'm
George,
sorry.
George Carlin he's the cab driver.
Yeah. My bad.
And which he got to write the scene himself. Richard Pryor, being one of his best friends, said, "Hey, he's going to do this," and then he wrote the scene or whatever. It's not good, but it's one of those that I loved it growing up, and I'm just so obsessed with George Carlin. Since I was 12, I've been a Carlin worshiper, and then Richard Pryor, of course, is just so good.
You really don't think it's good? I think it's good. I mean, again, it's a snapshot.
I
of a certain
really
time
enjoy
period.
it, but objectively, it's probably not seen as like a great movie.
I think anyone if there's two people who are listening to this podcast and you say to yourself, I should watch Car Wash for the first time, I probably would not recommend that because I don't think it probably stands up to the test of time.
Probably not.
I think if you watch it today for the first time, it'd be a hard watch.
Watching it with no nostalgia attached would be rough.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
you got to have, because it really, I mean,
See,
it
that's
is
the
a
thing,
comedy, but there's a snapshot about life in general that you see in Car Wash.
I was say because I saw it in college. I just thought it was okay. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't really like, whoa, this is the powerhouse.
Now, did
Yeah.
you watch The Wash with Snoop Dogg?
the remake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I think I saw that movie in theaters actually.
There's no way.
I'm pretty
My
sure.
That came out in like 01.
Yeah. I think my mom took me and
How old were you in 01?
I got to go with my older cousins to watch it.
Oh my God.
So
That's funny.
it was also not a good movie.
I like the Hispanic guy of all the people in the Car Wash
Yeah.
with long hair. I appreciate that.
Okay, edit that out. Edit that out.
right,
We'll
it's
never
my
talk
pick.
about it again.
My pick.
Yeah.
We almost broke our
Professional and demure.
I have wild card and action drama to go. So, you know what? I'm going to take for action drama, Bang the Drum Slowly. Have you guys ever seen? And
Never even heard of this.
that's
movie.
all right.
Is this De Niro
Yes.
and Duvall?
No, it's De Niro and Michael Moriarty. So here's the thing. Michael Moriarty is a stud pitcher for the New York Yankees, and Robert De Niro is an average at best catcher, but they're friends. And when Moriarty finds out that De Niro is dying and the Yankees are going to cut him, not the Yankees aren't cutting him because he's dying, the Yankees are cutting him because he sucks. And Moriarty, when he's negotiating his contracts, negotiates in his contract that if they send him down or they cut him, the catcher, if they cut the catcher or send him down, that they have to do the same to him. That his contract status is tied to the catcher's contract status. And the movie's about their friendship, their bond, and at the same time, De Niro doesn't want anyone to know he's dying, so they got to hide that from everybody. And then there's all sorts of comedic things that go on in between. Like I can't really explain
sounds
why it's
super
funny. I know that it doesn't, but there are so many comedic things because the manager is trying to figure out why the hell is my ace pitcher tying his contract to my washed up catcher. And Michael Moriarty keeps making up excuses and spinning tales, and the manager looks into it, and then he comes back, I know you're lying about this because blah, blah, blah. You got to see, it really is a movie that I think stands to the test of time.
When I was doing the research for this, that was one that I saw. I was like, I feel like I would like that movie. I've never seen it. I'm aware of it,
Yeah.
but I feel like I would enjoy it. There were a few of those when doing the research for this.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's a prequel to Major League too.
Did you ever watch Laverne and Shirley?
I love Laverne and Shirley.
Okay, the guy who plays Laverne's father, who owns the pizza joint, he is the manager of the Yankees in the movie.
That sounds like a good role for him, actually.
Yeah.
because he's got some fire in him.
Yeah. It's a really good film that goes overlooked a lot. Your last two
Because you
picks
have
here.
Blockbuster and Misunderstood, which is really funny.
I'm
What you
I'm
gonna
not
do?
gonna lie to you. I have no idea what to pick here.
Silver Streak is really funny.
Is Network counted as a blockbuster?
I don't.
Was it on the list?
I don't know.
Oh. How are we supposed to answer that? I don't know what they earned.
You know, out of all of us, you're the one that's here with a
What
laptop.
do you count as a blockbuster in the 70s? Over 10 million?
We took to 50.
Over 50 million?
Normally it's 100 million.
There's only one blockbuster. So the blockbusters out on my list are all gone except for
Okay,
one.
see.
Sting, Godfather 2, Jaws, American Graffiti,
The
Rocky,
Exorcist,
and Young
Blazing Saddles,
Frankenstein.
King Kong.
Oh.
A Star is Born.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to take Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, there you go.
Wasn't that already taken by you for?
Nope.
Oh no, you were
No,
going to.
he
and
took
then
Young
just skipped
Frankenstein.
around. Yeah.
I did. I actually
Okay.
thought it'd be taken earlier. This is impressive.
Young Frankenstein or Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles.
Same.
Yeah.
I've kind of thought it was taken. That's why I was.
I'm sorry. I may
Man.
have faked you out because I talked
this
about it
is
for
great.
3 seconds and then
This
I was
is
like, but Young
serendipitous.
Frankenstein. But yeah.
Serendipitous.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Because I love this movie. I've seen this movie so many times. Oh man, it's either this one or Young Frankenstein for my favorite Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah.
There's just so much happening in this movie all the time, and the way that it ends, awesome. Again, we've mentioned this already, but the whole show production that evolves,
Oh, yeah.
almost out
Yeah.
of nowhere, to just conclude this movie, untouchable. I think it just plays with like the idea of race and being in the minority group so well.
Yeah.
because that's Mel Brooks' shtick all the time.
I didn't really get that from this movie.
really. Why don't we dive into that?
Gene Wilder too kind of plays a straight tough guy.
Yeah.
Sort of a tough guy, which is fun.
It's funny seeing him like be the in charge, the head honcho to this
Yeah.
whole operation.
Yeah.
Also, I love Mel Brooks in this movie as like the corrupt mayor of the town or whatever. Like he's such an idiot. Like, yeah. Also, so many good one-liners from this movie. My favorite, and that's like super slept on, I think, is just when they're going through the highway, the West Highway, like Highway to the West or whatever, and they have to pay the toll.
Yeah.
Someone go back and get a shitload of dimes.
110.
110. It doesn't help at this point because I've already edited so much that it's no longer at that time.
110.
It's going to be at
Yeah.
like
Oh
an
yeah.
hour.
That's a valid point.
But yeah,
All right.
Good.
I cannot wait to see what you take for Misunderstood.
I don't know what to take, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's so many dog movies on here,
Limmy's
but I
got
haven't
one left
I
on
haven't
his
seen
list if you
any of
want
them.
it.
There's
Okay.
a movie I'm surprised you didn't take, and that's Disney's Robin Hood.
Is that a misunderstood movie?
It's not. I'm willing to
Okay.
give it to you as just your last pick
Hold on.
because I can't believe you didn't take it.
Have you ever
Whoa.
seen
I love
Rudolph's
Robin
Shiny New Year with Baby New Year and the big ears? The Rudolph animation. You know what I'm
one
talking
of the
about?
playmated movies?
Yeah. Rudolph's Shiny
I've never
New
seen
Year.
the New Year one.
Oh, really? With Baby New Year?
The critics gave Robin Hood 58% on Rotten Tomatoes.
How crazy is
That's
that?
close enough.
I'm taking it then.
And it is technically a splat, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's 60% or less. So technically,
I get it.
Which we can make that the new threshold, 60%. I don't care. Or we can stick with 55. Doesn't matter.
I get that they reused obviously a lot of animation to make that movie because it's that was just the time for Disney. But the soundtrack to that movie goes crazy. I love I have such a nostalgic connection
Little
to
John.
this. Yes, dude. Also Stepwalk, is that the dude?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all Oodalale, like great.
See, that's why I was so surprised that you hadn't taken it.
Well, I thought it was rated way higher, and there were other movies that this is a good movie, but like others rank higher. I didn't realize
didn't
it was 58%.
I didn't even look it up because I was like, well, I'm sure that's probably.
Yeah, sometimes you can tell by the IMDb score because if it's like a 7.4, I'm like,
that's true.
that's probably not
Could be,
rotten.
yeah.
But sometimes, like the James Bond movie, high everything score except for the Rotten Tomatoes. It's weird.
Yeah, I also love the portrayal of King John whenever he's like sucking his thumb.
Yeah.
All right, so let me wild card.
I'm going to take Murder by Death.
No
with Peter
way.
Falk. Yeah.
I was looking at that. So I've never seen it.
You told us about it, and I
Yes.
looked for it, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
It's like an Agatha. It's like a Clue, right?
Murder by
Is it-
Yeah.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Falk plays the like Sam Shade type detective. They have a guy who isn't Asian pretending to be Asian, so he's the Charlie Chaplin guy. They have another woman there who's like Agatha Christie. It's all these great detectives, 6 or 7 of them, all for coming for dinner, and there's a murder by death. And Truman Capote's in the movie too.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
What a cast.
We have to have somebody
It is wild. It is a
to
wild
chronicle
film.
it. So you have to have somebody to chronicle it. Not
Yeah.
Capote can do that.
It's sort of slapstickish Mel Brooks comedy.
Man, I feel like I
but
love
it
this
is.
movie.
I like it a lot.
Murder by Death.
The woman who plays the sidekick to Peter Falk, yeah, she's in a variety of movies. You guys would know her if I could think of her name.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, I know
but
her
that's
name.
not going to help you any.
Alec Guinness?
It is not Alec Guinness.
No.
Oh, it's Eileen Brennan.
There we go, Eileen Brennan.
Love Eileen Brennan.
Yeah,
No.
she is.
It's Millie Bobby Brown.
I was gonna say she played.
Maggie
she was in the
Smith.
original Annie.
Maggie.
James Crown. There's a lot of heavy
Oh
hitters in
yeah,
this.
who's the guy who's the white guy pretending to be the Asian guy so that they
Peter Sellers.
no is Peter
Peter Sellers is in the movie too?
He's,
Yeah.
He's Sidney Wang.
Yeah, no. Wait a minute. You know what?
Well, I'm
You're
guessing
right.
it
That
probably
is
doesn't
it.
hold up well by today's standards.
My fault. In my head, I was thinking Charlie Chaplin, but it is
Charlie
Peter
Chaplin.
Sellers, and they, because that's what they do with Charlie Chaplin.
My God, Arvin, look at the picture
Are
of
you?
this
Do
Asian
you mean
man.
Charlie Chan?
Charlie Chan. What did I say? Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin. So
I meant Charlie Chan.
we need to appreciate
Everybody
this.
really needs to go look up a picture
I
of this.
wish the people listening at home could see what I'm looking
Oh yeah,
at.
but that was
Caster,
the whole
look at
thing
this.
about Charlie Chan movies.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah,
It's way over the top.
So when you said Charlie Chaplin, I was like, I don't think you mean Charlie Chaplin. I think you mean Charlie
I
Chan.
meant Charlie Chan movies.
Which I watched all of those with my dad.
Oh yeah,
those are
but
so
it's
good.
a white guy that they paint up to be Chinese, and that's the play with Peter Sellers.
And that, yeah, Peter Sellers, that was his whole career. I mean, I don't think he ever was him in anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, Murder by Death,
Good.
definitely recommended.
Okay.
I've got to find it. I
It
look
looks
forward to
interesting.
find
Yeah.
it. All right.
I don't know. Yeah, it might be hard to find. To be honest with you,
I'm up. Wild Card is my last category. Chinatown still on the board. Rocky Horror Picture Show still on the board.
Yeah.
The Long Goodbye. Philip Marlowe.
Escape to Witch Mountain.
Papillon.
Papillon. Yeah,
Thanks, Happy Helper.
But I think I am going. Ooh,
Mean Streets.
Great Gatsby, another great Redford. Foxy Brown. Pam Grier is what I really want to take.
you ever
but
seen Cooley High?
I was just going to say Cooley High is also
Cooley High.
really good. I'm going to take Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Love that movie. Walter Matthau. I love the remake too. That's one of those rare instances
Yeah.
where the reboot or whatever you want to call it is equally as good. It's very different, but both are amazing.
I've
I
never
like the
seen this
original
movie.
better, but
Could you give me the synopsis?
have you seen either?
No.
They hijack a
train.
a subway train,
That's like Speed.
and then no, and then they're going to ransom them off. Like they're holding these people for ransom.
It sounds like Speed.
It is not at all like Speed.
Can the train stop?
It does.
Okay.
and
It's
they
less like
negotiate.
Speed now.
Yes,
So
and it's done by actors, not Keanu Reeves.
Whoa.
Actual
Oh, like
actors.
the people taking hostage of the train are actors?
Yes, and they act. They don't act dazed and confused the way Keanu Reeves does. In all
Oh,
his
I
movies.
see
He's
what you're
insulting Speed is
he's
what's still happening
insulting
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Yes.
insulting Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
In the film, the plot is not that
Yes.
actors take over a train, but it's fake.
I
So-
thought that's what you were getting at.
the remake,
Dear
the
God.
only thing the original doesn't have is the remake has John Travolta in
Yeah.
probably the worst role he's ever had.
Worst?
I don't know if I've seen the remake. To be honest
Have
with
you
you,
seen Battlefield Earth?
I have.
That's its own different
in that
kind of.
movie
I
is
did too, and
disgustingly
it's
bad.
awful.
Have you seen Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3?
I saw half of it.
He's so
It's one of the few
over
I
the
didn't-
top,
Oh, he's
cheesy,
terrible.
scene chewing.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's
And, like,
not great.
But it's still an enjoyable movie. I
The
love
train
Denzel.
can't go under like 100 miles an hour.
Oh my god! Hey, in taking a
I'm
Pelham,
going to
in,
delete this whole last 10 minutes.
honestly, all of this can just.
in
Why
the
did they only pick
original,
five?
Can you guys tell that we were doing testing just like in our rooms by ourselves for like 5 hours today?
I just wanted someone to talk to. Really.
We can tell.
who's the
Probably
captain
about speed.
in Jaws?
Robert Shaw.
Yeah,
Robert Shaw's in the original
Yeah.
Taking. Yeah.
There's a bunch
okay.
of great.
Oh, there's a.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a great
I like
cast
Robert
in
Shaw.
there.
Joyce
Walter
Roberts is the mayor's
Matthau.
wife.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Walter Matthau's great in this.
That's actually why I watched the original one, because the John Travolta one was so bad. I was like,
think
why
I've-
did they remake this? It's awful. And then I saw the original and I was like, oh no, it's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original's really good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think I saw the remake. I thought I did until you said that.
I
And
enjoyed it.
have not.
Are we talking about Battlefield Earth or Taking?
We're talking about Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
I was
You
gonna
know
say, I don't
what?
remember
Next
it.
time you need to have.
We're
one of
talking
those
about
things where you
speed
can
in the
mute someone's
1970s.
mic.
I have that. I'm also thinking about a spray bottle.
Bad.
All right,
Or
last
we got a
last
shot
one.
collar.
Dear Lord.
Arvin
Last
with
one.
wild card.
Okay.
Put us out of our misery.
Okay, so for my wild card, I am going to take the inspiration for Mortal Kombat the movie, Enter the Dragon, with
That's
Bruce
a
Lee.
good movie.
I cannot believe Salemi didn't take this one. I'm really surprised.
I mean, right?
I'm surprised I didn't.
I literally I circled this on my list 23 minutes ago, and then just spent the last 8 picks hoping that nobody was going to take it. So thank you all for letting me do that.
Such a great
yeah.
final pick.
I love this movie too. Like it's
Into
such,
the Dragon.
like it's one of those. Again, it's a sports movie that doesn't really seem like a sports movie, but
It has
like
Kareem
Bruce-
Abdul-Jabbar,
right? And Bruce
Leaving
Lee's
his-
just fan friggin' tastic.
20-foot footprint on Bruce's chest
Uh-huh.
when he kicks him. They make him out to be like this spider-like thing, just sitting there and just randomly kicks his foot out and knocks Bruce Lee back. Yeah,
But isn't
that's
it
a
weird
final scene. Great
How
scene.
like so many people got into martial arts purely because of this movie.
Oh my god!
Like,
Yeah.
so many kids around the country in the 70s like just doing karate stuff.
Oh,
I definitely wanted nunchucks after that movie.
I bet.
Yeah. Well, and so many people did
Yes,
too. And it's
yeah.
like, why did that become a thing? Like, why are parents buying those for like the less responsible children?
That's how I felt about
The
Teenage Mutant
70s
Ninja
were a
Turtles.
wild time.
You wanted
Yeah.
nunchucks after that?
Oh, yeah.
And a bow staff and the
I wanted all of it.
whatever that's called that Raphael has.
The Psy.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's the Psy,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the Psy. Yep.
Oh, the thing about Bruce
SAI,
Lee
yeah.
in his movies, and I enjoyed them all as a kid. I couldn't tell you the plot of any one of them
Doesn't
because
matter.
all I watched was
Doesn't matter.
It's
Yeah.
just we watched the action scenes. I honestly
This
don't
one,
know
there's a
what
tournament.
Enter of the Dragon
It's like
is
Top
about.
Gun, dude. You just
It's
watch
literally,
it 'cause
it's Mortal
cool.
Kombat. It's 1996's Mortal Kombat.
And he
except
goes
for,
one floor to the next at the
Yeah.
end to make
up
his
the
way
tower.
up to the
It's
big
so
boss.
No,
sick.
that's
That's
various
Donkey Kong.
tower
That's
movies.
Mario.
Let's say that's Mario Donkey Kong.
How upset were you in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when he made Bruce Lee like this?
Okay, I will say that is the only part of that movie that I can't stand. I love that movie.
What?
I
There's
know. We've
several
talked about
parts of
this.
that movie I
Stop,
can't stand.
Stop. We've talked about this too many times. But I genuinely hate the way they portray Bruce Lee in that.
I
It's
cannot
awful.
wait for the 2019 draft.
I'm gonna pick it, and we can all talk about
We're
it.
sitting. We're changing
Yeah,
the
you're
seat
next,
arrangement next.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
good
Oh, yeah.
movie.
We'll
That's a
see.
good movie.
Nuts.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and I do agree because in all honesty, Bruce Lee, I'm not saying he's a tough guy necessarily, but he was a hell of a lot tougher than whatever those stuntmen were portraying him as.
And he was a good
literally
person.
did fight. Yes, and he is a good guy.
He's not Steven Seagal.
Yeah, now that was
That's blasphemy to even put him in the same conversation.
Right?
Yeah, Bruce
That's
stole a
funny.
lot.
Fully
from
agreed.
Steven, so
all right. Well, Enter the Dragon.
All
Nice
right.
way to end it.
that's a
I'm
dope
definitely
movie.
trading you seats next time,
yes,
though, for sure.
because I'm slapping you.
You know, 100%.
I like my barrier.
I'll be on the camera. I'll just record that.
Well done, boys. Ticket studs out.
Bye. We love you.